Oh,
We're live. Oh my
well,
gosh,
live.
we're back. It's been
We've done it.
forever.
We've done it. It's been wait, has it been forever?
oh,
Oh
Did
yeah,
we
it's
do
been like 3 weeks.
wait, really?
I don't know, maybe not. Is it not?
I don't know. I don't know. Man, okay.
Well, there was a double gap. I think maybe it's been 2
was a
weeks,
double-
but
it was
before
a
that
double.
there was a gap too.
I see.
So
So we
it's
had
been-
like 2 gap weeks in a row.
2 gap weeks, which for my brain means it's been like 5 months.
5 months. Yeah, I got you. I'm with you. Guys, it has been a crazy day.
Yeah.
So
Jinx.
Jinx. And you know what? It is too early.
It's too early.
it's
I-
too early.
I am drinking coffee. Just
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
If I had time, I would have done that. So let me paint you a picture of my morning. So we have one of our neighbor's cats just
Hold Please hold.
whoops.
please hold.
Whoops.
False start. Everybody hold for a second as we restart the podcast.
Yeah, we're all just gonna hang up on you guys.
Yeah.
Bye everybody. Just
Bye.
kidding.
Peace. So
Okay.
So-
okay.
So I'm in, and of course, our neighbor's cat just recently had kittens, and so as you can see by like the cat stuff over here, we're planning to adopt these kittens.
Yeah.
So B's out of town. My wife is out of town, and I was out of town last week. We were like, look, once we're both back in town, we'll take the kittens and then we'll go. And they're weaning off of their mother, so they're eating dry, solid foods now. So they're ready to like find a home. The mother's in a safe spot to not like be too mentally attached to the kitten. She's branching out again. So this is the time. So we're good to go. But the mother often comes over and we keep her fed and stuff because she's our neighbor's cat. And we're like, oh, well, yeah, we're take care of you too. She's a true outdoor cat. And she's over there getting breakfast this morning. And all of the kittens are like in a shed that they have. So they have a little shed with all their stuff in there. And I'm feeding the mother cat and I'm drinking my coffee and I go stand at the door and I look and I'm like, is that 5 cats climbing over the fence? I'm like, oh my gosh. And
Towards you?
towards the forest. I'm like,
no.
oh my gosh. So immediately I'm like,
Now, I want people to know how dangerous your forest is. It's like for cats, it's like the forbidden forest. I learned about this recently. I had no idea how
Dude.
dangerous this forest is.
What?
He lives in what you would think would not be a dangerous forest area
Yeah.
because it's just
no.
basically rural, right? Or not rural,
It's
urban.
it's rural where
Suburban?
all of the forested areas, all of the coyotes in existence have been packed into them.
Okay.
Oh no.
But this is important because if you know coyotes like I do, coyotes are only supposed to live in pairs and they have areas. They don't go into each other's like areas, right? Around Eric, guess
There
what?
isn't enough area.
They form packs.
Yeah.
Oh.
They form packs.
They have video evidence of packs of coyotes.
just like going
Which is
across
not
people's
natural.
lawns. Like
Yeah,
out
like-
in the open. It's wild. It's
Like 18 coyotes.
Okay, so now
That's
I'm
dangerous.
like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
The cats and okay, so let me explain the geography. Fence, their fence. Forest, our fence.
Yeah.
Their fence, forest.
Okay.
5 kittens on the corner. Okay,
I
have
feel
set
like
the
this is
stage.
I feel like this is a notepad moment
Notepad moment. Yeah.
or whatever you call it, the paint moment.
And then all I see is a cat go, ah, and jump into the forest. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I text the guy because I have the guy's number because we've been chatting back and forth to make sure like, here's where we're going to get the cat, the logistics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, are the cats doing well? He'll send us pictures. We'll be like, haha,
All
awesome.
that cute shit. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
all the good stuff. And I just saw one of the cats, Superman, into the depth of hell.
Forest.
And of course, now I'm like getting my shoes on, putting on pants because this area is like death. I literally walked through this area and had to pick off dozens of spiders. Like this is not where you want
It's not a good place
to be.
Okay,
So I'm texting him and he's like, I'm not home. I'm like, oh no.
bro.
I'm like, is anybody else home? He was like, no, nobody's home. I'm like,
get out.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Can I put them back in the shed? He's like, that would be amazing. And then I go over there and I have to jump the fence. And at first they're all looking at me like smiling, happy. And then I hop over the fence and they're like, monster, scatter into the depths of the forest.
Yep.
And
Uh-huh.
the next like 3 hours of my life,
Oh, dude.
I am knee deep in muck and stuff,
No.
digging through to literally herd cats. And you know
Bro.
what? You know when people say it's like herding cats, they're wrong. It's not like herding cats. Herding cats is way worse. Okay. So now I have been herding cats for 3 hours. I have finally gotten all of them in. I put a wooden thing and I shove it up under the door. And I'm like, they're not getting out until my neighbor gets home. Cool. I'm going to go back to work. And work's already crazy today. Everything decided to break. Like a dozen things. Could not be more pulled in 15 directions. And so then I'm working and I get done with work and it's 4:45 p.m. and I'm like, awesome. I have some time to wind down and break. And I go and I get a second cup of coffee and I walk to the door. Freaking
brace
5
on.
cats on the top of the fence. Ugh. Again.
Eric, it was just natural selection. You actually should have
Again.
just let those cats go.
Again. All again. This time my neighbor was home though. So there were 2 of us climbing through the depths of this forest to get these cats. And so finally he's like, this is getting really, really hard. I was like, I'm going to go get wood. I went to my friend's house. I got a plank of wood and I nailed down because we found a hole in the back of their fence that they were escaping through and then climbing up from the other side. I was like, cool. I got a board and I SpongeBob nailed the other side of their fence so that they couldn't escape that way. And my neighbor's sitting there and he's like, this is just getting really difficult. And we have some friends coming to get these ones later this week. And finally, I was just like, you know what? I'll just take R2 to help. Whatever. So welcome to the Taphaven family. Larka and Fell, they're sleeping in this box right here. So
Adorable.
yes, they're open.
How many are there?
They can go out. We have
All
2.
5?
We have 2. No.
We have 2.
They still
Oh,
have
you got
3.
the 2 little ones. Oh, I see one.
Yeah. You might be able to see one. He's
So
like
you're
this-
little, or I thought I saw one walking around.
You might have.
Or you're blurry on my on my VDO, so I was like trying to look at the small
Yeah.
thing. So it might have just been weird pixels.
They're both in there, and they're
Oh, Eric is a person.
Oh yeah.
time.
Oh no.
So
Oh,
they're
yeah.
sleeping, but yeah, he was finally like, it would really help if you took yours, and I was like, okay, I'll take them early. I'm not fully prepared. We have some of our stuff coming on Wednesday to help, like a pin and stuff like that. But I have like all of the stuff, a bunch of stuff ready to go. They have food, they have water, they're good to go. But yes.
Is Eric's audio and video quality just like on the fucking a
Yeah.
tsunami wave for you?
Yeah, it's been really bad. The stream to my OBS is doing fine, but that also was freezing up at one point. So his internet's just being weird.
Okay.
My internet's just being weird. Oof.
Seems to be.
Should I restart?
I mean, I think it's fine right now. If it gets bad, we'll let you know. Because like you're fine now, and we've been able to catch pretty much everything that you've been saying. I think we're good.
Yeah.
Anthony.
I'm wishing that the way for me to like easily
Yeah.
monitor, because I have like the Nat and Eric direct vocals to
Same.
stream.
Same.
And if I was monitoring that, I would get the quality stuff instead of the video like
Let me
chat stuff.
see if I can, because there is.
While he does that, too, I feel like that was his first test of fatherhood.
Oh, for sure.
That's like
That's
like
truly.
well, what is Hippo puts it in a certain way? He's like, of course I'm wearing jeans. I'm a dad. It's like I have to wear jeans. I have to be ready at any point in time.
Yeah.
I might need my pants. That's all I could think about when Eric goes, I had to put on my pants. And I'm like, I've been there. Like, you're like, shoot, I'm in sweats or I'm in like shorts. And now I got to go into the forest.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody has like every animal has a version of either dad or momism that you have to activate at some point in time. Like, there was oh God, what was it? Yeah. I had Cove. He got into something and it like stung up his face. What happened? We went outside for a walk. I let him off the leash and we played like out in the field. And when we came back, his face was all puffy. So I gave him like he was just like not feeling well, and I gave him Benadryl. And then like I went to sleep and I woke up to him whining. And that night he had explosive diarrhea in my room.
oh no.
Like intermittently for like the next 2 hours.
Oh God.
And so I had to put on my dad pants.
Oh God, that's horrible.
I had to wake up. He also did the same thing. I think we had him in the kennel point in time, and like he wasn't feeling well. I came home and the kennel was like in the middle of my office at the time. You guys have been to that townhouse, with the carpet at the bottom, right? Cove was in there, and he like had explosive diarrhea again. He also sprayed it around, so on the carpet in like a blast zone around it. And I was like, well, I'm gonna put on my dad pants.
Dude, that's so bad.
It was
There was one morning when so Ash has a paranoia about one of our dogs, Yui, because she once like ate a leash and had to have surgery to get it out.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because that's very dangerous. So it's like 3 a.m. She wakes up, hears something, looks up, sees what she thinks is like a sock or something on the ground. So she's worried that Yui's like about to eat a sock, was chewing on a sock. So she lunges towards the floor and grabs its poop. She was immediately that. The worst thing.
White poop is like in the dark, and you're like,
Oh my God,
it was a decoy.
No, it was dark. It was it was normal color. It was normal color. Thing.
Oh no, I believe you. It was just more so like I'm like, oh yeah,
just an
that's
object.
how you know.
I actually had a moment on Monday. Ash wasn't heard. So not today, Monday. Monday we were driving back from the Miami Grand Prix for Formula 1, and we are an hour from home, so we are 12 hours into driving, and we hear some whining.
No.
And I'm like, what is going on back there? Ash, what's going on? There's blood. What? Why is there blood? All of a sudden, like what just happened? Yui chewed a tennis ball sized hole in her hip. And by hole I mean like, divot in her fur. It was all skin. She pulled out a ton of hair. She must have bit by like a spider or something, but we had to pull over. We're an hour out from home, and I had a doggy med kit that we had from Amazon. By the way, those might be somewhat helpful, and it was helpful. It had some things in it, but it was terrible. Don't just buy any cheap med kit you find online. Like, get some good stuff, because when you need it, you want some good stuff, and you want it to be labeled and organized, because that sucked. So I'm like reaching through, like Ash crawls into the back seat to hold her still, reaching through the door or the window to like patch her up and clean her up, and it was just It was a lot.
Wow.
Oh man. Ball, yeah, not a legitimate chunk of flesh. Yeah, and then she was doing really good, and then today or yesterday, I think it's today, she started chewing at it again. Or like maybe the hair was growing back and made her itchy because she made it bleed again.
I was
So
about to
now
say,
she's
yeah,
got the
you
donut on her head.
put the cone.
Yeah, okay, so if y'all ever need a dog or a cat to have a quote unquote cone again, get
Yeah.
an inflatable donut instead of a
Yeah.
cone because then they bounce off of things. They also
Yeah.
have a pillow at all times, and
Yeah.
No.
no
That's
cone
pretty good.
badness. All right, Eric, you are finally not pixely, but you
Yeah.
did come in and out a second ago.
Yeah.
when you
No,
when you
there's
said cone, it was
definitely
a little off.
something
But
going on.
you're-
I'm looking
Oh,
at the
there.
thing.
There it goes.
But it's
I
Damn.
jinxed it.
it's not from me. It's from something in between me and like the Twitch servers or
Uh-oh.
something like that. So
Oh,
I might-
the Twitch service.
yeah, I might be able to change the server from Atlanta or something like that, but I don't know if I can do that while it's like happening. Don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can change the
Okay.
server.
Sorry if that was
Okay.
horrible, but I'm listening to Eric directly through OBS now.
You're
And
listening to me through OBS. Hello. Do I sound suave and normal? Or do I sound terrible?
So far, so good.
right now.
So the one
Yeah.
good thing is that if you are using a buffer like I am for my stream, then theoretically mine, as long as my network doesn't have more than a second of lag or stutter, then it should even out on the stream in OBS. But it depends on how you do it. So like I have a buffer of a second so that if we have any hiccups, they get evened out in the final recording. Obviously,
Okay, yep.
there's nothing I can do for over a second, but
Yeah, unfortunately, it is still like going in and out here and there.
I see.
Oh, that's rough.
Fuck me, mate.
That's rough. We're getting technical difficulties.
We're trying. We're trying.
Technical difficulties.
Outside,
Also, my camera's not centered.
I might be able to restart, and that could fix it, but I don't
Worth
know.
a shot.
Did my
Because yeah, it
wife's
is not
wife
fixed itself.
swap the
Okay, let me see if that
I
works.
think my wife's.
I'm gonna stop
He
everything.
stole your chair.
Look.
How dare. Just weak. So, I already told Eric about this. I can go ahead and talk about this. And there he is.
Oh, look at
Like
that.
Beetlejuice. My God.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Dude.
Okay. Am I here?
Yeah,
You
you're
are.
here, but you
Yeah.
need to share your chat now.
Oh, does that go away?
Yes.
That's annoying.
Yeah. So while Eric figures that out, I'll tell.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that was the story, wasn't it?
That was
Dude,
the story.
So I just saw Eric in person. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I talked to him. So I
Oh, man.
shared things about my life like a dummy. Like I can't believe I
Wow,
did that.
what an
Like, I don't-
idiot.
I
What
don't
an
know
idiot.
why. So dumb.
You big
know.
dumber.
But yeah. While he's doing that, I guess I can just talk about the Formula One Grand Prix.
I
Great
mean, if you
experience,
have to,
never
you
going
sound
back.
you sound so upset about
Wait,
it. Really?
you're never going back?
Not unless I'm paid to be there and it's like a nice little suite or something.
Ooh.
So the thing is, it was very Miami. On Friday, when we were there with just practice and sprint qualifying, and like nobody was there,
Nice.
it was all people that actually cared about the event, right? And it wasn't overly crowded, and it was just cool and a great experience. And then the second day, they didn't move our parking to a reasonable parking lot. They kept us in a 2-mile away, 45-minute walk parking lot.
What
That
the
wasn't a
hell?
lot. It was actually just grass, and we walked through some sketchy areas. There was cops everywhere, but like it was still just
Still
weird
sketch.
and a very, very long walk. Like,
45 minutes walking is not a short time.
no, there's no shuttle. Like they could have just had shuttles, dude. And they're like, please don't use
Ride
ride
share?
sharing because they're not gonna be able to park anywhere and or drop you off a mess. It's like, well, if you gave us shifts, we wouldn't have
We
to.
wouldn't have to, you dangus.
Yeah, so it's just weird. And we even saw someone that was a Lyft driver get pulled over because they stupidly let people out right in front of a cop
Yeah, you
on
did.
a street.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Um,
What are you doing?
but it was just like so the weird thing was we got a camp pass, which is a fancy name for general admission.
What does that mean?
It means you can walk around, but
Mhm.
you can't go anywhere.
You walk around, but you can't
So you don't
anywhere.
have seats, right?
Uh-huh.
You don't have like a place to sit. And the thing is, this track nowhere to sit is actually any good. so so it's like you could get a seat and sit down and watch the race from a spot, but guess what? You can barely see anything. Florida, it's all flat. On top of that, they have put up an insane amount of stuff in the way of you seeing things, whether it's just blocking the fence or big giant clubs that are club only access VIP stuff that you have to pay like that to, or a corporate event or something like that. Now there are places where you can see through the fence, and that's really, really cool, but there's just not like enough available. When the real event started, when the main event, the Grand Prix started on Sunday, they closed everything down without you. Suddenly, if you came down from the arena, which is 3 stories tall, but way bigger than 3 stories because it's a freaking, NFL stadium, they shut down the escalator.
No.
So if you want to go back up, you got to walk. Yeah. Yeah. Then they have these viewing areas, which they advertise, oh, as a campus pass holder, you can go to the viewing areas. Where? I mean, this might have been hearsay, but I'm pretty sure it said something about those viewing areas being like
exclusive.
hating. Like, they literally have people like security at the viewing areas. I walk up to one of them and I'm like, hey, are y'all gonna be like rotating people through here, like, because they're fine for people to get in? And they're like, no, it's closed. And I was like, oh, okay, there's a line. What for a line? It's like, well, they might open, we don't know. Saw them open one of the viewing areas with like 3 to go. I was like, okay, hey, you want to go watch the end of the race at a viewing area? So it was just not very
That's
consumer
garbage.
friendly,
No.
right?
That
part was
probably
weird.
burned a little bit.
Yeah, and also like, it's Florida, so it rains right? So there's
Yeah.
we know the rain's coming. We're trying to find a place to seek shelter. And the first place we go to, they're blasting music like 10 times louder than they did on Friday and Saturday. So loud that I actually, for like a while
shit.
after we left to try to relocate, we go to an area where I know there's cover. They're also blasting music louder than reasonable. Yeah. And it was just weird because these are places that anyone can go for real, than like pseudo.
We haven't. So our drink for today, Nat, your face. Is it rough?
You're okay. Listening.
Are we sure? Are we sure?
Now I'm just fucking with you.
uh,
All right, go ahead.
Can you shit?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's definitely my ISP. Like my trace route is going crazy
No.
after it hits Atlanta servers. I don't know what to do. It's just that kind of day, I guess. So,
Does it help if you don't multi-stream?
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. like the amount that the multi-stream adds is only on my CPU or GPU, but I'm having no problems with my GPU or
Yeah.
CPU. And my
Oh,
network
but before we
output.
do move on, overall, the Grand Prix was a worthwhile experience, and the coolest thing in the world, if you haven't seen it, is on YouTube, where the drivers drive Lego cars around the track.
That
And this
An
was the first time this
an
ever
entire
happened.
Lego car. That's actually pretty cool.
A full-sized Lego replica, and
And you
when no
do.
one can see, they start crashing into each other on purpose when they go where there's like no audience.
Wow.
It was too
Wow.
funny. But yeah,
Ridiculous.
worth checking out.
No.
But yeah, dude, can you share the chat?
What? Why did the chat stop?
I think
Never started?
I think it did.
I thought it did.
No,
Did it?
never mind. No, it's not sharing anymore. You're right.
Okay. I got you. Look.
Okay. Click to collaborate.
You're good.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
I see the group.
I'm in the
Where
group.
is it?
Yeah, I see the group. I just don't see I see everything
Do
else.
I see the girl?
Hosts can enable shared chat.
Okay.
That's about it.
Let me find it.
So today we are going on an adventure, guys.
Oh.
We are.
We
There
are
it is.
going to the Great Park. Yeah, it's shared. Where are we going, Eric?
Well,
You know where we're going?
I thought, honestly, that we were going to a long overdue apocalypse.
Wow.
Because today we are going to the great super volcano that is Yellowstone.
Vesuvius. Oh,
Vesuvius. No,
Oh.
Yellowstone.
it's a dormant
Yellowstone.
volcano, so it's
So today-
it's kind of okay.
Yeah. It's kind of okay. So yeah, today we are trying interestingly, it's not a normal Yellowstone bourbon. It is a special finishes collection. It is finished
Oh.
with toasted oak staves. So, normal aging, normal thing. Then they essentially drop oak staves that have been toasted inside of the whiskey and let it age a little bit more.
Did I just
Anthony, you seem
bookmark? No, I did not.
confused.
Yeah, because Ash had told me I'm quiet on my stream, and then I'm watching you talk, and when you talk, you're coming and yourself.
Wait, say that one more time.
Yep.
What?
In OBS, I have my mic, and when you talk, my mic lights up.
Interesting.
Hey, Nat, can you say something?
Something.
Yep. Both of you.
Something,
Oh,
something,
God, I love
something.
OBS so much.
Oh man, I love OBS.
Oh,
It's just
oops.
so great. I
didn't do that.
I love it so much.
Nobody
Do you
saw
drink?
it. Nobody on the stream saw it. You all shut up. Nobody stream. Do not tell them what happened. Do not tell them what I did. I did not do it.
What are we doing?
Life is bliss.
What are we doing? What are we
Ignorance
doing?
is bliss. Look,
I don't even want to be here.
look, my body needed it so badly that my hand
What
didn't
are the
even
taste
think about what was happening.
It's black.
Nothing is real anymore.
I don't
That
know
is right.
about that.
This is why you'll need to just have a bar shelf like I do on my desk, where you can go and just go ahead and the time, because I can never wait.
No.
That's fair.
Because I've already been having Boardman's Bullet.
Boardman's
It's right there.
What's Boardman
You know
Bullet?
what?
It's Bullet Bourbon. Boardman's bottle.
Oh.
It says Boardman on it.
This is
Incredible.
my current shelf whiskey, the Four Roses, the
Oh,
small
man.
batch.
I mean,
Awesome.
Oh, man.
Yes, I
Very
have a
good.
shelf whiskey. It's I guess I do.
Oh God, that's yeah. I mean,
That's a very nice shelf whiskey.
It's a very nice bottle, but honestly, I feel like I'm burning through it very quickly.
I actually ordered another Blue Note.
Oh, another Blue Note?
You
They're
did?
pretty good.
Well, I was ordering something on Sealbox, and it's like this for 2 bottles versus 1. So anything here that I want.
Dude, I would get
And I
this
saw it.
if you could. Like, if you could get a Lost Lantern,
Mm-hmm.
it's really good.
Dude, the Lost Lantern is pretty good.
Mule.
We need Steelbox to work with us. Steelbox. Welcome
no,
to our
Seal box?
wannabe ad section. Seal box. Seal box. We, like you,
Steelbox.
want to just engage with bourbon and whiskeys of all different types. So you should send us whiskey that we can try here together as one.
Speaking of, we're gonna have a schedule. You'll have to get on that schedule because we're gonna have our audience to taste with us because they asked for it, and we maybe behind the scenes we're like, when someone asks for it, we should start doing that.
That's fair.
And
That's
they
fair.
did.
We were asked.
It was requested.
Guys, I have bad news.
You spilled
I spilled the whiskey.
the
Not
whole thing.
all of it. Not all of it.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I spilled most of it. So
Can we start a montage of that?
No.
Because
Matt
feel like we're at-
spilling whiskey.
we're at least
No!
3 times now.
why am I so
least.
clumsy?
I just want to see like differences, the slight
I don't
subtleses
want to
of
be
how he
this
brings it.
person.
The-
Matt, did you get the Bourbon Fray Ranch Lost Lantern?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, because the label I'm looking at, I think, is different. But I'm not
That
sure.
one right there.
Just your camera, because that looks so red. This looks
It's
so
very,
not.
It's like a brownish orange red.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Nevada straight bourbon whiskey. Fray Ranch Distillery.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, cool.
They have a seal box single barrel rye, 130 proof, selected by
Jesus
Sealbox
Christ.
for Fray Ranch.
For Fray Ranch?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, how old is it?
It's probably still only a 4 or 6 year.
I found that this thing kicks harder, not getting different in terms of flavor profile though. It's just a stronger flavor.
Yeah, I mean, Fray Ranch is still a younger distillery, so they still have to get some time under their belt to be able to produce those more complex aged flavors.
Yeah.
Dude, Nat, at the hotel that we stayed at for our company thing,
Yeah.
they had the series Bardstown. And oh my god, good.
We'll
Yeah.
talk about it after we
Apparently
taste
I finished it all.
bourbon. I want to
Well, I
taste
mean-
this.
Let's taste it. I thought you were cleaning up, man.
No, I could taste while cleaning. I'm an adult.
Okay.
I have jeans
Cheers
on. I don't actually have jeans.
to episode
Cheers.
53.
1 to 53.
Smells pretty good.
It does smell
I have
pretty
to
good.
tell you about the Japanese whiskeys too.
Oh, yeah, you did do that. Yeah, light cinnamon on the nose.
Mm.
I get some toffee.
Spice. though.
I think I might have seen this. Kind of neat. You can tell it's toasty because of the way it is.
Yeah, it has like some
What?
chocolatey
Bro, don't tell me you
toffee
haven't seen.
notes.
Don't tell me you haven't seen the. You can tell it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
I hate that.
Have you seen that?
I have not seen that.
Oh, you're in for something.
I'm
Ash
sure you later.
mods, please find that. We need
It's
video.
an aspen tree because it's an aspen tree. I remember you showing me this years ago. Like
an
maybe
aspen
when
tree
you
because of what it
first
is.
discovered it.
Stupid.
That's pretty neat.
Okay. So I'm getting top. I'm not. I guess
Yeah,
I
I
get,
get
a little
toffee.
bit to like. I don't know if I get to pop tobacco. I guess that would be a nose.
Ooh. Does it say we're supposed to get tobacco? Oh, let's see. Well, I get the
says
cinnamon.
tobacco.
I see where they're going with the vanilla, toffee, cocoa with black tea. Yeah. I could see that. Tobacco
get
and
black tea at
toastedness,
all.
I get tobacco and toasted notes definitely on the tongue, like on the on the flavor, but not in the smell.
Man, you know,
There's that
guys.
chocolate. That cocoa.
Yeah, there's definitely some chocolate.
Go ahead.
The
think
tobacco
with y'all's
is right at
permission-
the end before the burn happens. Like right before the burn, there's like a note of tobacco.
And we're gonna say,
I was saying, while we savor this, Ash already found the video, so with y'all's permission,
oh my god.
we don't have to.
Why?
It's not,
Pinned
but
it
it's 2
to-
minutes.
He did.
It's 2
pin it.
minutes.
Oh god.
Y'all want this?
Do we have to watch the entire thing, or can we just watch the part that you were talking?
It's so good, man. So good.
I have already
What if
seen
it's
it.
bad? But what if it's
It's
bad?
not bad.
Shouldn't I just?
What if it's bad?
Can you hear it? Is it coming through?
I can. It's very loud.
Crap, that's loud.
Did that fix it?
Yeah, that's
very
better.
loud.
You could probably come down.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
I will voice over
You'll
for
voice
the
over.
audience on my stream who does not get to
That's
see
pretty
this.
neat.
So we have a guy, khakis. He's got like a brownish vest. He's trekking. He's kind of like appearing in parts of the woods and stating anecdotes about life that are kind of deep, meaningful. They have a lot of flexibility in how you could apply them to your own life.
But I respect your distance.
Like
Eric, you don't have a button for
bears
the stream?
and how you should respect their distance. I do not.
I hate
I do not.
giggle.
It's a little giggle.
He's also wearing
we
a
can-
wonderfully crafted
Fucking
custom
God.
hat
You'll have
and,
to see more.
and leather tennis shoes.
Sorry, if anyone's watching on Eric's stream, I know that was painful for you guys.
Holy. Holy. It's a rough
Oh,
time
man.
for all.
That was painful for you.
Oh,
Sorry, I thought we all had the shared stream, the shared screen thing by now.
we do.
But-
No,
do.
I do
Nat
not.
does.
I do not. I do not.
Okay. No worries. Yeah, neat.
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's
Shut
pretty
up. Oh god, how neat is that?
That's pretty neat. How do you like your burger? I like it neat.
That is an accurate statement.
I'm ready
I
to-
do like it.
Wow! 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 Wow!
All right, do y'all like this? How do you feel about it?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like there are it's one of those that kind of goes back and forth in my head. It is both complex, not complex, tasty, not tasty, good and bad. And I think the reasoning is that sometimes when you take a sip of this, you get these wonderful cascading notes of tea and cinnamon, toffee and vanilla and chocolate. And then other notes, it quickly devolves into this harsh cinnamon and almost like a burnt cinnamon type of deal. And depending on how your experience in the mouth is, this can either be really good and dynamic or not. And I think the reason that is because it's not that, like, the mouth feel is very thin. It kind of like washes down really quick and it doesn't coat your mouth. So a lot of the aromatics and flavors don't kind of stay for every single sip. For me, at least.
Gets a lot of that, Eric. Gets a lot of that, Anthony.
I thought so, but then at the end, I wasn't so sure.
What?
Same.
Oh, no.
Same.
Towards the end, your internet.
Mm-hmm.
So this is gonna be the time where Nat and I start talking, and we hope that your internet chills out.
Go for it.
All right,
For sure.
if you hear.
All right, here we go. Here, hey.
All right, now. You wanna go? I go.
Hold on.
Who's
Yeah,
going
I'm
here?
gonna go. I'm gonna
Tighten
go
your
ahead
belt
and go.
loops here,
Hold
people.
on. Now let me go ahead and make sure I situate myself. Chair. Hold on.
This is what the podcast would be like without Eric. Okay, so y'all should be
Without
grateful.
God.
Greatness, all right, because his
Be a lot
greatness
of
helps us be
yes.
great. But now that we're losing him, we're falling in.
Oh my goodness.
It'd be a lot
God
of.
help our soul.
Got a lot. Hold on. I gotta get my hip in the right place.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
Y'all hear that? That was a loud one.
Maybe. Okay. All right. Here we go. So, all seriousness,
Oh, okay.
I don't like this one. Yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah,
not a fan. I'm kind of glad I spilled a little bit. I feel that it tried to do
There's
a
a lot
lot
going on.
really fast, and there's a lot going on, and like with the flavor palette, the profile that they're giving, like with the vanilla, toffee, cinnamon, white pepper, cocoa, toasted tobacco, walnut, and black tea, like it's all over the place in terms of ingredients. Sorry, like I guess flavor notes, and I could barely catch bigger ones that they're supposed to be like promoting for this taste. And just all in all, I agree with Eric in the sense that the mouthfeel is just absolutely like tepid. It's there and then it's gone. There's no like savory. The flavor profile itself seems so convoluted in the actual tasting of the spirit that you don't get anything until the very end. You're getting flavor, but you're like, there's no, it's all in a rush. It's all jumbled together. There's no defining note of one thing. It's just a bunch of things at the same time at the exact same level. Like there's an adage there's just like a strategy in terms of like mixing for music, that if you want to create a good mix for just like audio, you can't set everything at zero. Not everything can exist at the immediate forefront of the song. You have to have nuance. You have to have like some things that come in at the very end, some things that create like an actual piece of digestible art. It was everything at zero for me until the very end, and then it was like, and then we have coffee. I'm sorry, not coffee. We have cocoa and a little bit of toastedness, and I was like, like the only thing I really have to say about it is like the proof is good.
Mm-hmm.
Proof is good, and the ending note is nice-ish, but overall, it's really harsh for me at the very end, and so it's a no. I give this a 2. I wouldn't buy this if I was asked. It was not a daily drinker,
And you would
pay maybe $30.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Anthony,
All right, so
your thoughts. Break it down.
I think that objectively, this might be a good whiskey for people, but probably not for any of us. And why do I say that? Because it reminds me of what I don't like most dark chocolate.
I
But
love
there
dark
are
chocolate,
some
though.
that I do. Interesting. Well, but the reason I think about it is because
Okay,
when I'm chewing it, it's sweet, and that's great. Well, chewing this whiskey, if you could just do that forever and then just spit it out, then you're good. Actually, no, it's probably going to do the same thing when you spit it out.
Yeah.
When you swallow it, that bitterness is all you can think about. It's a bit much.
Yo.
And so that's why it reminds me of dark chocolate. And I think some people really like that. So maybe if you really, really like to be bitter after you're sweet, you'll enjoy this. But I think we're a bunch of sweet boys here. So
Did you catch sweet at the very end of it?
in the beginning, like when I'm chewing it, it's very sweet.
Really?
I actually get that too. I also think this is a pretty sweet whiskey.
I was very happy until I swallowed. That's what she said.
Whoa, pause. Whoa. Your wife is in the chat, bro. You can't just say that.
So sorry. I apologize.
You can't
Um,
just say that.
I'm surprised Ash didn't say it first.
That's fair, but you can't just say that.
Oh man, I was on mop duty when we were volunteering.
That
at a
is
food
what I
bank,
said,
and-
though.
No.
Oh, and now it's embarrassing for you.
Oh no.
How
Oh,
the
no.
tables have turned.
Look at the turntables.
Look at the turntables. That DJ is really cutting it up.
Oh. But yeah, I totally agree. For me, it's definitely like a 2 out of 10. The bitterness, I just don't want it anymore. It's just
Yeah.
that's what kills it for me. If you like that, I don't think it's a bad whiskey because there's probably people that like it. I wouldn't buy it, even if it was like $20, I still wouldn't. I just don't want it. So like
less than $20.
Anthony's like I don't want it
Don't
in
want- I
my
don't-
in my space.
I would so
Well-
much rather have Bullet, Woodford's,
Anything
Snickers,
else. Anything else.
any bare bones whiskey that isn't complex. Like I just tasted my Bullet, and Bullet is very straightforward. It's not that complex, but I enjoy it more than this.
I'm gonna try the Blue Note again. We'll
I-
see how we feel.
I think that's fair. I'm sitting on the same type of fence. I think the only thing is, and this goes back to exactly what I said, some sips of this fall into the 4 out of 10 range, and some sips of this fall into the 2 out of 10 range. And I think the only problem is that oftentimes it falls closer to the 2 than it does the 4.
Mm.
And I think that's because of the viscosity, a lot of it. This is a very thin whiskey to me, and therefore it's, like they said, it's trying to do so much, and there's a lot of flavors, but you don't get all of them in every sip. Sometimes you get more bitterness, more tobacco, more of that chocolate toasted note at the end. Sometimes you get more of the toffee and the vanilla at the front. And so it's either too sweet, not sweet enough, too bitter, not bitter enough. Like it just goes back and forth throughout the experience a lot. And I don't know how to fix that except for adding more viscosity, right?
Tell it about how it finishes in the mouth.
It finishes.
Oh, don't gargle it. Don't gargle it.
Oh man, no. I take back what I said.
It finishes nice, thin, and not thick enough.
I mean, he did double down.
Yeah, 100%. But
Sorry if I heard that. I did not
I
mean to do
heard
that.
a little bit. It's
That
okay.
that was
Fine.
the live feature of. Okay, I gotta say, Nat, maybe you enjoy this too. But one of the best things that has happened in my friendship with Eric is him getting an iPhone and not realizing that almost every picture you take and send to people does the live photo thing. And then me like watching him take the picture, and it's like it's so much fun because it's like a little sneak peek into what he's doing, and he doesn't know that he can.
wait, when have I done this?
It's
Just-
automatically turned on for some of your photos there.
No,
bud.
no. I totally
love it.
understand that it happens, but when have
Yeah.
I sent a photo to you?
I
It's
don't
probably
remember.
It
It was
just
just.
to you, Anthony.
It could have been in a group chat or something. I don't.
fair.
I don't know. I just remember you got the phone, and then shortly after we got pictures from you, and it had the live thing, and then it was just like very still, but like live, and I don't know. It was just fun.
That's
Oh man. But yeah, what did you rate it, Eric? Did you give the
So
rating?
this sits solidly as a 2.5 for me.
2.5. Okay.
It would
Honorable
not be
mention.
a daily drinker.
No.
I really want to see this, and here's the unfortunate thing.
Oh,
I haven't looked at the price
no.
about this. However,
Oh,
notoriously, Yellowstone is never cheap.
No.
So I would want to see this right around the $25 mark, honestly. And I think
It
even
is.
then it's rough. But I think it should probably be about $25 considering everything. So let's look up Yellowstone.
So I'm
I'm
surprised to hear you
terrified.
say that because I feel like someone recommended Yellowstone to me once. of it being cheap.
No, Yellowstone is always around the yeah. So for example, this sits right around $50.
No. That's $30 too many.
Yeah,
Mm.
here's a place selling it for $65, right? Like it's just a lot of money for what isn't a lot of
But
whiskey.
isn't a lot of whiskey. It's really
know?
not. I feel like it's such a weak whiskey. Like I would love to. Well, sorry, not weak in the sense that like it's like doesn't have a lot of spirit. I feel like it's just such a. It is such a trap. In
At
terms of like, oh, you're gonna get a
$66.
multi-nuance whiskey. $66. What can you get?
You
A Frey
have-
Ranch.
You can get a Frey Ranch.
50. Free range is 50.
Yeah. You could
And
get
free shipping.
You could get a new Riff Select
Bruh.
for under the price of one
Let
of
me
these,
tell you something about that new Riff Select.
right?
Now,
I can get an Elijah Craig single barrel toasted
Ooh.
for the same price as this.
Ooh.
Like
What are
this
you
is
gonna
just
Yeah.
is just crazy.
Yeah.
never mind. It's sold out. I'm so sorry.
What were we gonna
I
say?
almost bought this the other day. This is why I bought the Blue Note, because I kept trying to buy the extra bottle of whiskey on seal box,
Uh-huh.
and everything I clicked on was sold out. But one of them was the new Riff single barrel.
You do know that the one that I got is actually like unattainable at this point.
I do,
That's
but
all single
okay,
barrels
okay.
to
but
be fair.
Yeah.
it's possible to find its
maddening
sister.
me.
You know, that might come
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
gonna buy it and have it here
Or
just in
something
case.
better.
Yeah.
news,
We'll just have to
you know.
find something better. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
No, we're
You'll-
gonna
you'll find
no,
stuff better.
We're gonna go to the new Riff Distillery and we're gonna find you one that matches it. We're gonna taste
Okay.
every barrel still house until you find it.
Oh God.
The-
I don't.
And then we're gonna buy the whole barrel. Just kidding.
That's
Because
what
I
we
love
should do.
you.
Later
And
this
I
year,
just-
let's just,
I think you deserve good things.
Good things, and we have to bring Mark.
I mean,
Fair.
you know he'd be in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, what I gotta do to buy this barrel for this guy? I barely know.
Dude, so guys, when here I can do this. Oh wow, that comes pretty
that's
well.
actually not bad.
Okay, so the one that is Ryujin whiskey,
Yeah.
the bartender was so excited. This was a whiskey flight I did in a Japanese restaurant. Can't speak for the authenticity, but it was really good. The
You said
Ryujin
Ryujin?
Ryujin whiskey. If we can find this, like the bottle is super cool, you know?
Mm. It's
And-
very weeby, as it were. Probably not, actually.
Yeah. Do I have an image? Okay, I will be sharing an image. It will not be on the mainstream. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
But it is coming to mine, even though mine. Look, it's been a while, guys. It's been a while. Okay. Let us. So you can see this image here, and I don't know how to open it in NewCat.
Dang. Yo.
What is the distillery for that?
Yo.
This looks super cool, right?
Ryujin is wasn't there a graph that we looked at that I went over what is real Japanese
Yes,
whiskey and what
but
isn't?
it's kind of older, so I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out
I see.
which distillery that is, because then
Yeah.
that will let us know for sure.
Yeah. So while you look that up, the bartender or server, she was so excited about this new bottle that they had just gotten in. She had to bring it over to show us, and so I got to see it in person, and it does look really cool. And I'm muted on YouTube. Thanks, Nikoff. What the heck?
Appreciate you.
What is
Wait,
that?
you're muted on YouTube.
I think Nikoff is watching me on YouTube, and I'm muted
Oh.
there.
How are you muted on YouTube, but you're still playing here?
Dude. Oh man, like.
YouTube's
Oh,
weird.
hold up. Is it
Oh, I
me?
think he's saying specifically me.
just you.
Like he can hear you guys on YouTube, but not me. Of these streaming things.
Dude,
And
I
how
just,
great
I
they
just
are.
love them so much.
Oh, it's using my Twitch down mix.
Oh, weird.
That's
Bruh.
great.
Bruh, we love it over here.
Um,
Us moving over. To
I might have fixed it, Nikov.
platform.
Thank you so much, Nikov.
Dude, you've
But
been
if I
muted this
didn't,
entire
I
time.
didn't. Anyways, so back to the Ryujin. It looks cool. It's amazing. In person, it's even better because of the golden dragon is actually like gold looking.
Okay.
I sniffed this whiskey, and the first note I got was rubbing alcohol.
Oh. Oh.
Now, like I said, I don't want to bash this whiskey because it could have been a bad glass, you know, like a dirty glass or something weird. Who knows when you're at just like a random restaurant.
Uh-huh.
The first taste was great.
Second taste.
The second taste, rubbing alcohol, which is a little weird. Why would that happen? Maybe it was the glass. I don't know.
You got stank glass.
Yeah, maybe. Because the other two whiskeys that were there, the Umiki and the Kojiki, those were both really good.
Kojiki, umiki.
But something was going on with that Ryujin.
Umiki.
But you know what?
Spelling.
I wouldn't mind buying the Ryujin just because you'll always have a really cool freaking bottle with a dragon wrapped around it. Like,
Yeah, I was about to say sometimes you buy it
Even-
for the looks.
even if it's not good, like how many bottles of whiskey are expensive and don't look good? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the blue note is good. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. It
Yeah.
looks like the Ryujin is a real Japanese whiskey. It's from the
Oh.
Murasaki distillery in the Yamanashi prefecture of Japan. And it is known for its haiku single malt and Ryujin single malt. They are known for their floral and balanced flavors. So you should be getting a lot of the traditional Mizunari oak cask, so oak notes, and floral seems to be their go-to.
Yeah, that's what it says on this thing too. Fruity and flora.
Hell yeah, brother.
Honey, orange peel, and white chocolate flavors. Mellow finish with a hint of oak.
Yeah.
We take
I think I had a weird glass.
I think so too.
Or they're like, we like this too much, don't pour another one.
Very possible.
Now, umiki is very interesting because,
Finished in the pine barrels.
yeah, it's finished in Japanese pine barrels.
Okay, so get this idea. I also wonder if they put them in the wrong order. Because the second one I loved, but if I think about it, rubbing alcohol is really sharp. Maybe piney. I don't know. You know,
Yeah.
who knows?
You
So,
the wrong
The
order. Fuck
reason
to
they
see if
call it
you're a real
umiki,
street
by
fan.
the way,
Oh yeah.
umi means ocean, ki means tree.
Umiki.
So, These
Yeah.
pine trees are actually on the coast and draw in some of
The
that salty ocean water.
Yeah. I'd explain the solid it is.
But guys, whatever you do, you ever go to a Japanese place, they have a flight, definitely do a flight, but do not do the whiskey flight and then do a sake flight. Very different experience.
Very different experience. Oh my
Very
god.
big mistake.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you
I
do
feel
that?
like
I had
the
to make that mistake
flavor-
for you guys.
Oh.
Okay.
We didn't.
Okay,
You
I had
didn't
to
have, you had to
prove.
suffer for me or Anthony for that. Absolutely not. Oh my
No,
god.
it was just a big mistake. I think actually a sake flight and then a whiskey flight would have been great.
Yeah, that'd
but-
probably be the way to go. Whiskey is just so
Yeah.
much more power, like kicky,
Oh, yeah.
than sake.
Super
And
sweet
so-
sake.
or sake. So you're
Sake.
gonna
You can say
go
it
into
either
the
way.
sake, and you're not gonna be able to taste the intricacies of the floral and light herbal notes that exist there. You're gonna lose a lot of that. So,
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, we are sure smart. So, this
Dude.
whiskey didn't do well for any of us across
Yeah,
the board.
not really. Now, to be fair, I've had a lot of Yellowstones, and they've all been about even in their score for me.
At a 2?
Yeah, I am not typically a
Wow.
Yellowstone fan. Yellowstone has not been my go-to whiskey brand at all. So, I mean, it is what it is. you
Okay,
know?
so weird thing though. Okay.
Shoot.
Just tasted it again after a long absence. And the bitter at the end is not happening.
Well, look, like I said, for me, it was going in and out and back and forth. I think it honestly just depends on how it sticks inside of your mouth, how it kind of like goes back and forth.
Well, what if it's kind of like a pepper, you know, and if you eat enough peppers over and over again, Eric, you're the worst. If you eat enough peppers over and over again, it builds and builds and builds. It gets like too
I
hot.
was just saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if
It
it's just
builds
like
and builds and builds.
just drinking too often?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not patiently drinking.
Yep. Just put it
Causing the
all in there.
bitterness.
Yep. It could be.
All right. So what did y'all do this week? I flew a plane.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, you got to
Holy
fly a
moly.
plane this week.
You want to
I-
talk about that?
I flew a plane way more than I ever thought I would, Nat.
You flew a plane more than you thought you would ever fly a plane.
Okay, so we get up in the air, right? We get up to altitude, and Kirk goes, "All right, you want to fly?" I'm like, "Yeah, totally." Especially because this time I can actually see stuff. This was on the way home. On the way to our destination, couldn't see anything. All clouds. You're flying in a white box. It's like a horror movie, and then you're staring at like a tiny little screen playing the most stressful video game of your life because you got to stay in the boxes, otherwise you're gonna get in trouble.
Yep. That's flying, guys.
Just
Stay in the
flying a
boxes
nutshell.
or die.
Yeah.
Right, because yeah, you don't want to crash into anybody. You got to trust that the guys that told you to go this direction didn't
Knew
put
what they were
anyone else
talking
in your
about.
way.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, dude, I flew for like an hour home all the way, and then he let me fly the approach to the landing. And
Oh, nice.
the worst
the
part
fuck?
is he's like, "You see these things?" Every time he says, "You see this?"
You see
I
this.
don't see
Oh,
it.
God.
And I don't comprehend what he's trying to describe. The first time we had plenty of time. He's pointing over there. I'm looking far left. He's actually talking far right. You know,
Oh.
we figured it out pretty quick. The worst part is we're maybe like 1,000 feet from the runway. He's like, "You got to keep the that in the that." Like, yeah. We don't have time for this. We're about to crash or land, is what I'm thinking, right? And so after that, he says, "You're doing good." I'm like, I guess I'm aiming for the right
I guess
spot.
I guess I'm doing it right. Yeah.
I kid you not. I am 300 feet away from landing this plane, and he finally says, "My controls." I go, "Your controls!" Because he asked me ahead of time, like, "Do you want to do the approach for landing?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Bro,
I
you
did
have
not
balls.
realize how
You
close
have got balls.
he was gonna get me to landing the plane. At the end, he goes, "Yeah, so like if something happened to me, you totally would have been able to land the plane. You know, might not have been pretty, but you would have been fine." I'm like,
Yeah, okay.
"Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
okay, cool. Yeah. I
He's
was
back home already? Dang, that was fast.
she, yeah, wait,
Wasn't she out of town?
wasn't she in another state?
Is that your dad?
Are you talking to
Somebody
me?
else.
Yes, you.
Is it
that
the
you?
cat
Is that
monster?
he?
That's my dad.
It's
Oh,
Faja.
okay. Yeah, I was like, dude, it's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
his dad.
Can he pick up the kittens and show us the kittens, Eric? No, he's
they're
leaving.
sleeping. They're sleeping.
Oh, they're sleeping. He's
Yeah,
taking
we
good
ain't moving
pictures. So
shit. Yeah, he's taking grandpa pictures.
grandpa
Yeah,
pictures.
He's grandpa cat dadding over there.
Adorable. Is he also a cat person?
He's a reluctant pet person who ends up falling in love with the pet more than the person who reluctantly put him in. Yeah, Nikov, we got Taphaven
Yo,
kitties.
kitties.
They're in this
Oh,
little
dude, yeah.
box right here. But they're
Unique
sleeping,
enough. Yeah,
so.
Eric went through a lot today just to save those cats from wolverines and stuff like that. So if you want to hear
Yes.
about that, restart the VOD
Yes.
later.
Watch it back. Dingus.
On the YouTube.
Anyway, you were saying that you would have landed you would have been
Not
landing.
perfectly. He said I could
have.
have. He said I could have landed the plane.
Okay.
And you know, who knows if it means like on the wheels or on its belly. I don't know.
Wait, so like,
Uh,
let me just get this picture straight. So you had wheels. You were at the proper angle.
Yeah.
And you
Lined
were
up.
coming in, and you
Mhm.
fine.
That's what he was saying. I mean, but the thing is, he was doing the throttle the whole time. I'm
I
just steering,
see,
right?
'cause I feel like the gas is probably like one of the most important
Yeah.
parts.
Yeah, so because after he said you could have landed, I was like, yeah, but I would have had to been doing the throttle, right? And he's
throttle,
like, yeah. I'm like, okay, you make it sound like that's not a big deal, but like I feel like
Terrifying.
like I don't.
Terrifying. You described literally my nightmares.
I mean,
I gotta say, like it was so much less scary to fly with him in a small plane than in commercial for me.
see what I mean? See what I mean? I told you this too, and you did not. I remember going through this, and you were like, I don't know about this. And from a statistics perspective, it is entirely less safe. However, there is something about, there's a few aspects of it that I feel really alleviate a lot of the issues for me when you're considering being a safe flyer, which I know he is. One, the stall speed of these things is 40 miles per hour,
Okay, yeah,
essentially.
that's what I thought too. His is like 70.
Oh yeah, his is like 70, but
But it's still not all that bad when you think about
Yeah.
things. Like
Stall
I've literally
speed
hit a
means
wall at
you-
70.
Stall speed means when you hit it, your plane stalls, right?
yes,
So
yes.
it's
And starts
really
falling.
Well,
I think it starts falling.
I should say that is with 0 wind speed.
okay.
Your stall speed is 70
variable.
at 0 wind speed. You got to remember that if you're going against the wind, then your stall
Did
speed
you just
is
say
actually,
remember? like I've done a flight school, Eric. How
Sorry,
fucking
sorry.
like what
I
the
was-
hell?
I was considering physics class, to be fair, but essentially, if you're going into the wind or if the wind's behind you at some variability, that stall speed actually changes. It either goes up or goes down. And so that's all stuff you can figure out in the air. But essentially, for example, in this plane, if you were to have an incident, you're going to glide down, find a place to land, and you're going to go at an angle to which you stay above that miles per hour. And
Yeah.
you are going to essentially land at around that speed.
It makes sense.
The neat thing is on his screen, there's constantly a outline showing where he could land if the engine died.
Yeah.
At his current velocity and
Yeah.
height and all that stuff. Like just a week ago, someone landed on a golf course.
Sometimes technology is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Oh, little known fact. Well, actually, you probably already know this. You know the stealth bombers, like those like all black, the blackbirds. Sorry.
Yeah, the ones that look like alienists.
Yeah.
Alien-esque.
Yeah. Did you know that their entire like metal chassis around it is the gas tank?
That's the crazy thing. At one point, he was like, "That's the gas tank in the wing."
Yeah,
and, And it's like, he was telling me like, there's not a tank in there. When you attach that part of the wing, it is sealed. The gas is just in it.
Yeah.
It is the tank,
That's crazy.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. And then Kirk is like building a new plane, and he's like, "I'm gonna extend the gas tank like a few more rivets." And I was like, "Oh,
He wants to fly farther.
yeah."
Having more fuel is always a good thing.
Dude, what was really funny is when we got to Chattanooga and we're Ubering to the hotel, the Uber driver starts to tell us about him being a pilot and the plane that he inherited from his dad that expends like 1,000 pounds of fuel per hour.
Jesus.
Kirk's expends 10 gallons per hour, by the way.
What the hell?
Okay. And
Oh, you
he's
weren't there.
Is this thing cooking?
Oh, you weren't there because we were sitting at a different table. You weren't there for this whole conversation. You only heard Kirk's in car talk.
no.
You
know
got
more.
everything? Okay.
Yeah. But you
Go.
go ahead. I want you to start talking now.
Oh
What is
my
that?
gosh. So Kirk comes to our table, and
Yeah.
we have another guy that we work with, and he's talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, there was a guy. He picked us up from the airport, and he was spouting nonsense to us for like 20 minutes, like absolute nonsense. My whole radar went off. he was like this heavier set dude, and he was
Dude.
talking about this. And then another one of our coworkers was, he was like, wait, did he look like this? Did he have this? Turns out the same guy picked up 2 of our people to bring them to the convention center. And
had the same lie.
and he lied to both of them. This guy was spouting all kinds of nonsense. Like, he couldn't fit inside of the cockpit that he
This
said
guy
he
was
flew.
so large, like 400 pounds, that he didn't fit in his car. He didn't have a seatbelt on.
I see. Wow.
And he was talking in like miles per hour about his plane. When you talk about a plane, you're talking knots.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
Kirk is like looking at Wikipedia while he's sitting next to me, trying to quiz this guy because he's a little iffy about it.
Yeah.
And when we get back to the hotel, when he gets to his room, he calls his brother, who's much more flight savvy and ship savvy. What are they called? Airplane savvy, whatever. He's like, yeah, there's
Aircraft.
no way. All of this is incorrect. Like
His brother flew the plane that the guy said he flew.
and it's
And
not
was like,
1,000.
no.
It's not 1,000 pounds per hour. It's no more than like 400. Also, yeah, that guy could not fit in the pilot
it's
seat.
2,000 pounds per hour.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's a commercial plane. That was one of the things that made it weird.
A commercial.
Yeah, you can't actually buy the plane that he said as a private plane. So his
Oh my
father
God.
owning it doesn't make sense. It's a commercial plane that is done for commercial use.
Yeah.
And so he was like, that doesn't make any sense. Like everything.
But apparently,
everything that this
I
guy
think he
said.
made this lie up with a recent issue that happened where this was real, where people were flying blind in the air, I guess, because air traffic control for a major area went out
Ooh.
or something. But he acted like he was in the air in that situation and was running out of fuel.
Ooh.
And he was like, I'm never going to do that again. I'm always going to top off my fuel. It was interesting. He's probably a compulsive liar.
Yep. Sounds like it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah,
a net for
very
me,
well.
lads.
Banned. Get out of here.
Banned.
I got him.
All right. What did we
So-
play?
Ooh.
Oh
mine-
wait, no, we were saying like what we did over the weekend. No, or was that an excuse to talk about the airplane?
Well, I think the thing is that I guess it has been 2 weeks. It has been 2 weeks, hasn't it?
It has been 2 weeks.
I've played two games.
I played one game.
It's 75.
So I'll talk about the one we haven't played together, and then we can
Okay.
all talk about what is probably the game of the year for me and Nat.
For sure.
And then Anthony can interject at any moment with the games that he's played, because I know there's one on there that I want to hear about because I want to
Banned.
know how he did. So I have been playing Oblivion Remastered.
Oh.
A crap ton. Essentially, I have a stream game and a non-stream game at any point in time. My non-stream game right now, Oblivion Remastered. And man, it's just such a nostalgia trip. And it's so good. And there are so many things that I just loved about Oblivion. When I grew up, I played Oblivion for thousands of hours. I 100%ed Oblivion as a kid. And so to play it again is just with updated graphics, updated combat, is just super, super fun. It's just a great RPG story world, open world game that doesn't do all of the new age open world nonsense. It's just you explore stuff, you find stuff, you run into quests, and the quests turn out to be good, and there's cool little stories and craziness and gods and nonsense, and it's just great. Just
Have you
great.
beat it before, Eric?
I've beaten it hundreds of times.
Okay, just making sure.
I have fully 100%ed
I have
Oblivion
a question,
before.
which you
Yes.
probably can't answer. Okay.
Okay.
For someone like me, who's a compulsive, play an awesome game like this and never beat it, so I've never beaten Skyrim, should I play this game or should I beat Skyrim first before I could actually potentially
That's
beat
real,
this game?
buddy. You're not gonna beat
I-
Skyrim.
Yeah, I think it's
You're-
one
you're
of you
just
should just
not.
play and enjoy it. The thing is,
Don't lie to him, Eric. Don't lie to him,
No,
Eric.
no, no,
he
no,
he told himself the answer that he needed to hear.
So,
I think Oblivion and Skyrim are great in that you don't have to finish them to enjoy them.
Here's the problem. I finished Way of Kings. I'm
He's a
gonna
new
finish
man.
the whole series.
He's a new man.
Okay.
No, I'm just
okay.
saying, like any book.
Say the words.
Yeah, I think.
Life
I
before
think the
death.
problem for me.
Journey.
I think the
before
problem for
destiny.
people like me is just. Okay, we're done.
No. Go ahead.
It's probably the lack of rails. I think that's probably why I've said it before that if it's gonna be a story, I want it to be on rails.
That's fair.
The
I
li-
think this
there's not
isn't
enough
a
rails I can
story
finish.
game. So here's the interesting thing. Here's what I love about Oblivion and Skyrim. I don't think they're story games. I think they do such a good job at just letting you engage with the stories or acts that you want. They are probably, and I think
So, like-
Oblivion does this better than Skyrim, to be fair. And the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind does this even better than Oblivion, in my opinion. But you can go into Oblivion and just engage with what, like, literally pick a shiny building, walk inside, and I guarantee you it can lead you on some quest that is going to be just weird, fun, small story. And you never have to, like, try to find story. They just fall in your lap. And you can engage with pieces of each one and never finish any of them. And I think have a fun time.
Yeah.
Is it an immersion thing? Like
Yes.
you feel like
Yes,
you're
very much so.
in the
I have to
world.
assume.
Yes, you just feel like you're falling into situations inside of the world that build up. Like there are so many city dependent quests that are literally just inside of the city. They have nothing to do with any story, anything, but you walk in this city and some guy's like, "My wife lost her ring." And you end up on a 45-minute mini series learning about this guy and his wife and killing a corrupted mud crab that stole her ring. Like, and that's, you don't have to even finish that to enjoy the nonsense that is the first 10 minutes of that quest. And then you're on to killing vampires or whatever you were doing.
So for those of us that have never played Oblivion, but we've played Skyrim, is there a big difference? Like, is it better than Skyrim?
I wouldn't say bitter. I think it's just different.
And no. So here's the thing. Because I have played all of them, and my favorite has always and will always be Morrowind, the third one, for a lot of different reasons. However, as there are obviously 5 games out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, essentially. So each game essentially took down the scope and made a more railroaded experience for every individual thing and took out the quirkiness and the weird branching paths and the weird just falling into situations. And added in more depth to the singular storylines. So, for example, in Oblivion, you can go and do the Mage's Quest, and it's not like be a part of the Mage's Guild and earn your rank through the Mage's Guild and do all of these things. And that experience feels fun, engaging, crazy, weird, and like you do cool stuff. In Skyrim, instead of it just being a quirky quest line that you get to engage with and kind of have fun with however you want, it forces it into a semi-epic storyline that has to change the world inside of Skyrim.
Fair.
And that is every single storyline that you run into in Skyrim. You run into less small, quirky ones that are just fun and more, oh, I am 4 quests in and I know this is going to be an epic landscape-changing storyline that it essentially could be the main story, and it's just for the Fighters Guild or for this guild or for this person.
So that sounds so much more attractive to me because I remember one of my playthroughs in Skyrim, it was one of these side quest things was just too long. It was so encompassing. I'm like, look, I was just curious. You
Too
know,
late.
if I want a
You
big
accepted the quest.
massive story, let me go back to the main storyline or
Yes.
something.
And here's the thing, I love Skyrim, but it is a game of 40-ish different main story level quest lines. And they're all fun, they're all great, they're all amazing. In Oblivion, there is one main story and
A billion side stories.
500 different small short stories that you can engage with, and the guilds go a little bit farther than side quests, but they don't ever reach the level of the two main story, or the three main
Gotcha.
stories, I guess, because there's the main story and then two expansion stories that are equivalent to main stories, essentially, right? So you essentially have three main stories in Oblivion, like 10 semi stories that are a little bit longer but not main story, and then hundreds of small short stories, right? And so and essentially, the farther you go back in the Elder Scrolls history, the more it is one main story with hundreds of small little things. And the closer you get to Skyrim, the more main questy you get. So like Oblivion has the guilds feel like half main stories. But if you go back to the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, they feel even less so. It feels like you're actually in a guild. You rank up, and then as you get closer and closer, do more things for the guild. Oh, all of a sudden hey, you've done more for the guild than everybody, so like you're the head of the guild.
Interesting. It just so what am I trying to say? So I feel like there's a problem in more modern Skyrim, basically, that could be solved. And it can be solved in the way that a good book is written. So in Kings, there's a ton of offshoots of little stories, but you always come back to the main story quickly. Now, once the first book is over, now you have an opportunity to go on another big main story, right? So like what if in a video game like Skyrim, they did a similar thing where you keep it more like Oblivion, and then after they've completed the first main story, now they have the opportunity to go in a different direction with whatever they want to be their new main story, whether it's a guild main story or some
Sounds
other
like-
situation.
Sounds like Destiny too.
No, really?
Yeah.
I think the only thing is that in Skyrim, I think people wanted the guild stories to be more in depth because people love the guilds. Like that is one of the driving features. In Skyrim, some of the guild quests, in my opinion, beat out the main story by tenfold. I think it is both its strength and its weakness. There is something to be said that for the general audience, Skyrim is so popular because people like that. What they did
Good approach.
You know,
more.
you know what kills me in these games? And there's many like them, not just Skyrim. You have a quest log, and then you have like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 quests that are active. Instead of the game being like, look, can you get to the end of the chapter on what you're working on right now before you start something else? But you're reading like chapters at a time. So it's just
Well, I will say, Elder Scrolls 3 doesn't make that better because there's no quest log.
oh man.
And you're just part of 150 different small quests.
Honestly, it might be better. No, literally like looking at the quest log and being like, wait, why is it so long? That's one of those things that makes me go,
Yeah,
No,
no, I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell you
gonna
how many times
play.
in Morrowind I'm like, I stumble upon a cave and I find a ring and it gives me the little quest updated ding, or like I see that and I remember and I'm like, oh, that's right. I did talk to this girl 500 hours ago and said that I would go hunt down her husband's assassin and get this ring back. Yeah. Yeah,
I
I
do
did
remember
that. But you
that.
know what? This ring has a pretty good enchantment, so maybe I'll just never talk to her again.
You're
That's
fucked.
great.
You're a terrible person.
But But yeah, Oblivion Remastered is everything that I would want Oblivion Remastered. It is sad. It makes me want The Elder Scrolls 6 even more.
Yeah.
And it also drives me insane that they didn't do Morrowind before they did Oblivion, but
Yeah. You would think.
I don't know. The Morrowind is such a just timeless classic of a game. I have played it so many times. It
Do you
is
feel like they didn't touch it because they knew it was even more deeply rooted into the fandom than
no
Oblivion?
no, I felt like they did Oblivion because it's easier to do because of the communication system in the Elder Scrolls 3
Mhm.
is so much more expansive. So it has one of the best dialogue situations in gaming. So you go, you talk to somebody in Morrowind. Their chat box pops up. On the left-hand side are all the topics that you can ask them about. But inside of the chat box, they have topics that are hyperlinks. So you can figure out more information about what that person
I
knows
see.
about what is inside of the conversation.
It's a lot more intensive design-wise. Yeah.
So every single character in the game has 1,000 different things that you can ask
Yeah.
them about. And it makes the world feel alive because you're like, hey, oh, you mentioned the Imperial Guard. What do you think about the Imperial Guard? And that won't be an option on the left-hand side. You have to like talk to them about town talk. And maybe they'll be like, oh yeah, the Imperial Guard was here yesterday. And the Imperial Guard will have a blue hyperlink. And you can click on the Imperial Guard. And they'll be like, yeah, I don't know if I trust those Imperial Guard folk. And then that may have like some other hyperlink that may be like, I don't trust these guys. You know, I saw them go into that watchtower out east of here, and
Yeah.
watchtower will be highlighted, and you'll click on the watchtower, and he's like, yeah, I don't know what anybody does there, but there's a watchtower
But
east
it
of
got
here.
them there west
And
here.
then all of a sudden, you have learned what this person thinks about the Imperial Guard, that there's a watchtower east of here that nobody really knows about, that's not part of town, and the guards are sneaking there at night. And you're like, what?
3 for
And
3.
there's no quest, there's no nothing. And now you go east, you go to this watchtower, and you might resolve a dozen conflicts by going there, clearing it out, getting the loot, and figuring out that the Imperial Guard is like up to no good there. Or maybe you learn that they're smuggling skooma, which is a drug there, and stuff like that.
Scuba.
So this is
So-
like a weird thing that I think many gamers don't really know about. So Baldur's Gate, people's mind, or Baldur's Gate 3, sorry. And it kind of is the first modern game to bring back that kind of thing. Would you agree, Eric? Where that kind of thing being very deep, like conversation text-based availability in a game where it
Yes, Baldur's Gate 3 is like 10% of the way to Elder Scrolls 3. And it's the first one to even come above single digit percentages in a long time. And the reason it did like that Baldur's Gate 3 was so engaging in that way is that they also had all these story bits. So Baldur's Gate 3 in the communication aspect is like 10% of Morrowind, but it ups the game from Morrowind in the sense of how that affects the long-term story. The one thing that I will say, Morrowind doesn't branch the story bits a lot. It branches how you can get the information to get to different story bits.
Yeah, and so when you talk about that, you remind me of something that most people never experienced, which is literally text-only games.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think
that is why they could do it.
Yep.
yeah, and so what is it? Morrowind is old enough that those creators probably had a lot of experience with text-only games, and they brought it into the game in a satisfying way. But as the game industry exploded into 3D graphics, that sort of thing.
Fell off by the wayside.
Yeah, because everyone's like, what looks the best? What's the coolest visually? And then,
I need to be stimulated.
exactly. And so
That
yeah,
Well, I was just going to say, yeah, Oblivion took out all of that communication because they wanted more voice acted lines. So they did all
Oh,
of this voice acting. So now you can't ask people about stuff. Morrowind would have so much voice acting, it
It
would
would be nigh on
probably
impossible.
dwarf
Yeah. That file size would
every
be huge.
game in existence for voice acting if they
Yeah.
voice acted the whole thing.
Yeah.
And that wraps me around. That is 100%. That communication system alone is why I think they chose to do Oblivion first.
Makes sense.
I think this is also why, like, in modern gaming, I'm muted for the Twitch stream too.
Bruh.
What do you mean? I can see it. No.
Are we in a shared chat anymore either? I don't think so.
What?
Are we not in a shared chat even?
Oh my gosh, it stopped sharing again. What is
Bruh.
happening?
Hi, Umbra. Thanks for letting me know. I
You know
might
what?
have
This
just
might be a
fixed it.
recording live only episode for people.
Yeah. Hey, I fixed it. Oh man. So Nikov told. Oh.
Now there's
Echo.
an echo.
Oh man.
Everything.
Tonight, dude, I'm telling you, today,
Not a good day.
it's just been crazy.
Rough day.
But
Oh,
but
no.
we got kitties. So, you win some, you lose some.
I don't even know. I'm just breaking everything.
They're
Is there
they're
still an
adorable
echo?
though. They're curled into each other in a little ball just passed out.
Adorable.
Dude, what I was trying to say is that people get blown away by not novellas. The games where you click and it's Doki Doki,
Clicking
Doki
click and point adventure games or
but those games where there's not much going on gameplay wise in a way,
yeah.
but you're experiencing like a book with multiple endings and stuff like that. Mellow is also echoing, but that's on my stream.
Yeah.
That I actually kind of expected. I don't know why, but
Oh,
for
that's
some
because
reason,
the Twitch, the shared chat thing, you might have to mute us there. Or mute that.
yeah, I'm just gonna mute y'all right there, and I think I got rid of the echo for them. I don't know what's happening there. We're gonna
Okay,
switch to
that should
meld soon. I hear your meld is where
Hell
it's at.
yeah, Mel baby. Oh yeah.
No, now I can't hear anything because I muted the video. Okay.
Oh, don't mute that.
Mel, baby.
Mute just the Twitch one, the shared chat one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Hey
Mel,
guys, I can
baby.
hear you again.
There it goes. All right.
Not getting any clips out of this stream from me.
None. None.
So
Yeah.
that's Oblivion. Is there any other Oblivion things do you want to
No,
share?
it's just been super fun. I do use I do use two mods. Just
Garbage.
because
You're garbage. Absolute
just
trash.
because
You're a trash person.
the way that they decided to do difficulty scaling is insanity in Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Either it is way too easy or monsters take an hour to kill. Like those are your two
Nah.
options. So they thought that like easy is one times your damage, or normal is like 1 times your damage, 1 times your damage taken, right? Hard is like 3 times their damage. They do 3 times the damage, and you deal less than half your, like 25% of your damage. So already the jump from like normal to hard is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Master 6 times their damage, like 10% you deal damage, which is
But-
insanity.
Speaking of playing games at a very hard level, when are we going to continue our
Ooh,
playthrough
We do
of
need
Space
to do that.
Marines?
We should look at that maybe Friday.
Baby.
Maybe.
Maybe,
could probably
baby.
Friday,
We'll
I think.
discuss. We'll discuss. Yeah, the scaling sounds nuts though. So I installed a mod that just lets me change the difficulty scaling. Yes, this is hard and master in Oblivion. and it just changes it so that it's more reasonable. So now they do like 4 times damage, which is hard, but like, and it's punishing, but it's not too bad. But I deal half of my damage. So it's harder. They hit just as hard as they do in hard, essentially, but I can actually deal damage to them still. And it becomes like, oh, I can take 3 hits. They can take like 5 hits. But so it's punishing still. I gotta block. I gotta still do it. But yeah.
Rough times.
Yeah. Yeah, to make it balanced, I basically did 0.5 to 4. Yeah, 100%. And I feel like that's pretty good. Essentially, I can make 2 mistakes per battle, right? And if I make more than 2, I die.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, it sounds like Space Marines trying to get through the tutorial so you can play with your friends, but not because you to play with friends because you play it on a hard difficulty.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So Umbra, yes, there are a lot of things you can do to essentially break damage in the game. They kind of just happen as a natural result of you leveling up. So you typically do a good amount of damage. So like you doing less damage
Half is good.
Yeah.
It's a
You
good
doing it
balance.
half is a good balance. Cause like I play a it's like a mage blade type of a spell blade type of character. So damage is dealt well, essentially. I feel like 0.5 to 4 is pretty good. But yeah, that's been Oblivion. So
Tight.
Anthony, what have you been playing?
Anthony, what have you been playing?
Well, the only thing that comes to mind is V Rising because that's what I've been playing for the past like.
So why don't you
2
talk
days.
about it? Why don't you
And I also mess
talk
with some
about it?
game settings and scaling and stuff like that.
Oh,
So I
yeah.
got a dedicated server going for me and my wife to play on an old computer, which is very satisfying. It took a little bit of troubleshooting to get set up, but it's really nice to both be able to go into the same private server, and we don't have to worry about anything. Well, the castle's never gonna stay, and we can teleport with our stuff because, like, I think teleporting with certain stuff being limited is great for PvP in games like V Rising and Valheim, but
Hold on, I'm going to interrupt you. Can you
Yeah.
tell your stream elements to chill? How dare it tell me that I need to move my body and hydrate?
one thing, I feel like I should have said that a long time ago.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
it really should. It really should have.
I'm always shocked by how very not often it talks,
Oh
because
my
I'm pretty
God.
sure it's supposed to be way more often telling us to like have some water and move around and stuff like that.
Absolutely not, sir.
It's been
Struggle.
an hour and 47 minutes, so I don't know what it's smoking over there, but
It's high on copium.
But yeah, we've been playing V Rising. I think we've experienced some new things that are like not huge, since I'll use an ability that is a weapon ability, and then it'll say like free charge. I was like, what? Oh, I can do it again immediately. So like you do your like roll through the air and bash with the mace, and then immediately you can do it again. And so I don't get anything special about that. I think it was almost like a critical hit type of situation where it's just it randomly happens.
Yeah.
And so that was really cool. But of course, today I went in and edited so for the past day or two we've been playing it natural, but today I changed a bunch of settings. I made it like free to build stuff, so I built a like really big base that's like 4 stories tall, has a dungeon, and like has like a servant's quarters.
You
and
just
then
went
has,
ham.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to build when it doesn't cost anything.
Yep.
That's fair.
But I didn't like change everything, so like it still costs to craft, and I'm not gonna make it easy to like do the combat and stuff like that. But I feel like all those restrictions on building only really make sense when you're doing PvP.
PvP. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. And honestly, like V Rising is incredible. It made me wish that the Valheim PvP stuff was more like V Rising, where
Yeah.
where it was actually like an option. I mean, I'm sure some people have figured it out in a way, but Valheim is so big. Like I don't know. You're just probably too far separated to really do a Valheim PvP server, even though the game would be really cool
Right, it
for it.
would be really good for it. Yeah, I would second that.
But yeah, it's been really fun. We started playing on Steam Deck, but of course, playing on the computer for building is just so much better. And having a mouse to just quickly click all over the place and just build to your heart's content, kind of like probably like I almost said Micro Center, Minecraft.
I have to wait. Hold on.
I never really played it though.
I have to assume playing on a Steam Deck has to be wicked difficult in terms of combat.
In combat, it's I mean, it depends on the abilities.
Because you have to aim it. You have to go ahead and press the button.
For an AOE, yes, terrible.
Yeah.
Not AOE stuff, great.
I mean, are you because like it's what you have 4 abilities on top of your attack abilities?
You technically have
6,
2 spells, ulti,
2
and
spells,
3 weapon
ulti,
abilities.
3 weapons abilities,
and then
Yeah.
you have 8 weapon slots now. They've changed
So,
it.
in case you didn't know, V Rising is on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
That's true.
It is like controller only. They have really good controller
They do.
default behavior.
They do. Even
Um,
for switching weapons too, because they make it so that you can every button can turn to a quick swap. So you like hold the button, that brings up your quick swap to weapon, and you can like press your weapon and then immediately press the ability.
I see.
It is
Yeah.
a little bit faster on PC, but
I would
there
have
are
to
some people
assume.
that are really good at it on controller.
Yeah, and I think like when you do AOE, it automatically tries to go to your target. So
There's a little bit of AI support for you.
yeah, the hardest part is like, oh, moving and I want to aim here instead.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be
like lead. Yeah.
yeah, way harder than the mouse. But if it's just like a straight shot, you're just like chaos bolting or something, like yeah, you're just
Doable.
aiming. It's
Yeah.
no big deal.
And if you're doing
Um,
PvE only, then it's like
Yes.
you're fine.
Yes,
Like-
exactly. But building, like even building was fine. It's just I'm a little bit crazy when it comes to building, and I like to build an insane, massive.
I mean,
place.
the building in V Rising is so good. So
It
good.
is. Yeah, their only weakness is changing the color of something, which is still actually pretty quick. It's just that you should be able in V Rising you can like quickly change the ground from being this ground to that ground, right? But if you want
Yeah.
to change the color of the ground, you can't make that change. You have to hold a modifier to make that change
Oh,
instead.
that's annoying.
So you can't just like spam click it. You have to hold modifier and drag your mouse to the right color or something like that.
Oh.
That's the only thing they did bad, which isn't even that bad.
I
Like
was about to say, anytime you're thinking about picking from 1,000 colors, it's like there's going to be some complexity to it. So I mean,
yeah. Well, even then, they were smart enough to only have like 6 or 7 available, so that the
that's from the
radial
free
menu.
one.
It's also for the yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
because you can buy all the specialty DLC like castles and add more variations in colors.
If you want to
Mhm.
get crazy with it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Have you
Yeah.
done any of the new DLC content or the area yet?
No. I mean, we have barely
Just
started. We're
started?
still in zone 1. It does make me think that a game like V Rising would really benefit from a D&D-esque weekly 2, 3, 4-hour sessions. Because, I mean, I'm sure we would love to. Like, we have a lot of fun with V Rising. We try to find a good server, but we're always on servers. Yeah, I
It's-
think you need, hey, everyone's playing on Tuesdays from 7 to 10, and
Yeah.
it goes on for months, and that would be.
I still stand by my original statements of V Rising still from what I've seen.
Same.
It is an amazing game that should have done persistent servers with automatic meshing so that everybody's playing at the same time and you're playing with people of similar like everybody's castle that's loaded into your version, everybody's on a server shard, and people in your area on their castle are your level. People in the next area, their level. People in the next area, their level. So you're always playing against people. The server, like there's always a certain number of people in the shard that are playing. Their castles are live, and it just rolls as people go on and off. You join different servers, etc. It would have been so nice, but I mean, the team just couldn't develop that type of server.
That is a very complex thing
100%,
to create,
100%.
and that's why realistically my suggestion is something they can do.
Yes,
because they already have time slots for rating.
Yeah,
do time slots for playing the game.
Yeah, I agree. That would 100%, because that is the biggest issue, is that if you want to play V Rising and get the most, quote unquote, most out of V Rising, then you either have to be like you and play like on a super private server with only friends for PvE, or you have like 4 or 5 days to grind the crap out of the game and stay with a progression server, and you get to enjoy it for 5-ish days.
Well, yeah, because it's like a freaking Le Mans. It's like a 24-hour sprint for 5 days straight, where everyone's trying to go as much as they possibly can, and that's cool. But you can only so many people can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody can do that. Not everybody can enjoy it. It's just hard, and it is super fun. And honestly, one of the best gaming experiences that I've had in the past few years has been doing that on V Rising. That was super fun. But like you said, you just it
requires
burns
a
out
lot
fast. It burns out. Well, even
it's not just that, it requires the life situation to make it happen.
Yeah. And
if you have responsibilities outside.
Yeah, 100%. But even if you do it, even if you do grind it out like that, look at the player drop off of V Rising after release, and you will see that people cannot sustain that, even the people that love it. So,
but it's still one of the best games like I've ever seen.
It is.
And
we only hate on it here because of how much we actually like almost everything else about V Rising.
It's almost all perfect.
Like, I still stand by how I wish like games like World of Warcraft were based
like
on the
V-Rising.
mechanics of V Rising. Yeah,
Dude, I agree. The combat mechanics are some of the best combat mechanics ever done, hands down. Full stop.
Yeah.
Full stop. All
So,
false.
I think that leads us to the finale.
The obscure finale.
Claire Obscure.
Bro.
Expedition 33. Nat, bring us on your journey without spoilers, because you know where I'm at.
Man.
Oh, I see. Without spoiler, Eric.
Wait, so what act are you in, Eric?
You were literally watching my stream when I got off last time.
Okay, so you're still in Act 1.
I am still...
Okay.
Am
okay.
I?
Then
I just got out of the mansion. I just got out of the mansion and met the little dude that
Are you
we
still
talked
underwater?
about. Yes.
Okay. Fine. Okay. So the game is beautiful. The game sounds beautiful. The game looks beautiful, and
Question.
I haven't experienced a voice acting like.
Hold on.
I haven't experienced a voice acting.
I'm going to set this game up for you guys. Okay? Because I haven't played it, but I've experienced Nat experiencing it slightly while Jason had him play it. Okay, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. Nat starts playing this game instead of playing Marvel Rivals with me. That's okay. I don't mind, because Jason comes in beforehand and says, Nat's playing a game that I really want him to play. And I'm like, okay, man, that's cool. Whatever. I'm shooting people. Nat's up here on my screen. He's playing this game. Eventually, he gets to the point where he's like, oh, crap. D&D is 5 minutes ago. I'm late. I gotta go. Jason goes, Nat, before you leave, You cannot play this game again without streaming it. You need to tell me personally that you're streaming it because you're about to hit this cutscene and I need to see you do it. He was very adamant about that, and you agreed, and hopefully you fulfilled. So it is a game where Jason already played it, and it is so good that he's like, I need to see you play this game. I need to see your reaction.
There have been multiple moments where Jason has been like, dude, are you to play? And I'm like, yeah. He is like, dude, to stream it? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm going to stream it. And he's like,
it sounds to me almost like
I'm cluing in.
It sounds almost like you're reading a book, but you're actually playing a book, and people want to watch you play the book instead of read the book.
Very much so. And it's like, I'm now scared when Jason joins up. Because, like, sometimes, like, the story elements just hit you really, like, they just come out of left field, you know?
Oh, very emotional.
Yeah, it's, like, really good. The emotional storytelling that's played, like, that's written through this entire series is really good. Don't watch any of my VODs, Eric.
I'm not.
I'm very far ahead.
I've only been doing
moment.
chat-only listens of your stream.
You don't want to do anything.
So without spoilers, because somebody hasn't read this yet, are you saying it's kind of like Words of Radiance when the ship disappears? The ship becomes not a ship?
Oh,
thing major
I
happens?
will say no. Oh man,
no.
It's not that
I
emotional?
will say there is an emotional moment near the beginning that is very similar to the first book when what's his name? Aladin?
Aladar, Aladin, Adolin,
No,
Dalinar?
not Adolin. The guy
Alucard?
in Kaladin's first.
Sadius?
Not Sadius. The guy under Sadius. The general.
Boy? General.
The general who betrays Kaladin.
Is he the
Yeah.
one who?
I know what you're talking about. He's a High Lord.
Yeah,
High
High
Lord.
Lord.
Alucard?
Not Elokar.
No, it's not Adolin.
It's an army.
not
It's the
Adolin.
first army that he served in.
Yeah, it's
Oh, Amaram.
Amaram. Yes.
Yeah.
Amaram.
Yeah.
Amaram.
Yeah.
There's a moment near the beginning of the game that is very, very similar to Amaram's betrayal.
Yeah.
That hits so freaking hard.
It hits really hard.
That it's like crazy.
And then the game just like lets you roll in it. Like
Yeah.
it just lets you
then
sit in the muck.
It's as if that you had the betrayal, and then Amaram ties you up to a horse and drags you through the bodies of your comrades that he just put down.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that is right after all of this other stuff where the game just beats you down and beats you down. And then it takes somebody going and like essentially just like they do to Kaladin, of like, you have to say the words even when they're hard to say.
You have to get up. Yeah.
You have to get up.
Yeah.
And you have to step forward. And like that is the moment where your character is like, I have to take a next step.
Are you Anthony, are you going to play this game?
No. I don't think this is your type of. I think we talked about this. I think Anthony should watch somebody play through it.
Yeah.
He enjoys
When
listening.
when we were on our company little offsite thing, we were talking about it, and I was like, you know, what's very interesting is our friend Jason not to play it, but he specifically didn't tell me to play it. Nor did Nat, nor did Eric. I feel like that tells you something.
I feel like this is not a typical game that I would see you play. Like I would at least I wouldn't watch you play it. Like maybe it might be something that you come to later. But I wouldn't
think
play
you
this
should
right now.
try to play it.
For sure.
But if you don't enjoy the gameplay, like immediately, because here's the thing, the gameplay is very quick. You can do the very first battle in the first 10 minutes and know whether you'll like the battle gameplay.
Yeah, the loop. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then watch somebody play through it. Because I think you'll enjoy the story of it. It's like railroaded. It's just a great story, great music, great voice acting. If you watch somebody play it, it'll legitimately feel like watching a show.
Yeah. For me and for people like me, like the first trailer I've ever seen that I'm like, I actually want to play that single player game has been Squadron 42, the single player Star Citizen thing.
Yeah.
Watching that, I felt like I watched a pretty epic intro to a movie. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I'm literally playing a movie. I mentally am ready for that. But it's very different to play a movie, to play a book, to play a story, than to play Marvel Rivals.
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Marvel
So you
Rivals,
just
can
have
turn
to-
your brain off and just focus.
Yeah, I have to mentally be ready to do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I agree.
games don't prepare you for that with their trailers.
No.
That agreed.
Oh man.
But how's
I have
y'all's
no
experience
clue.
been?
Oh my gosh, so good.
Oh my god, it's such a good game.
I love it, and here's the thing. It has added a combat to turn-based fighting games like Final Fantasy that expanded the skill ceiling and just
Yeah,
made them so tactfully fun.
Yeah.
And
Like can I give an example?
yeah,
Okay, so one of the characters is the mage of the party, right?
yeah,
It casts earth, fire, electricity, and ice magic, right? The way that her system works is that when she casts spells, she gains stains. And for each stain, the corresponding element buffs another spell. So you combo spells.
yeah.
And the idea is to go ahead and keep either the combo running or to get enough stains that you just like whomp something with the amount of damage that you put out.
But
And
on
that's not
top
the
of that,
only way
that's
to play
every
her.
character. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's- yeah,
You can
and
play her a
every
hundred different
ca-
ways.
and every
I'm
single
doing it
character, yeah.
differently
Yeah.
than Nat is doing it, and
Yeah.
Nat's doing it differently than Jason's doing it. We have all decided a different path for this character that is entirely separate.
Yeah.
And they all feel different. But here's the thing. If you are good enough, you never have to take damage in this game, even though it's a turn-based game.
True. In fact, at higher difficulties, it is expected that you do not take damage.
Yes. There are monsters where taking damage is
It's a
death.
one tap. It is
You know-
a one tap. Yeah.
Y'all have me thinking that like for a game that is very book-like, which so far y'all are making it sound kind of like a really good book, a turn-based combat system sounds perfect because
It is. It is.
you get to sit, you get to think,
Oh
Yeah.
no.
you get
dude,
to
you don't-
wonder about the
you don't-
story being built.
The fighting is not time to sit and think. You need to focus.
Oh, yeah. So here's the only thing with that. The timings on all of this are tight.
They are tight like
They're
Sekiro
so
tight.
They're like, oh my goodness, tight. You know how parrying works in Sekiro, right? You remember
Yeah.
this?
Yeah, I haven't
Okay.
beaten the game, but I would like to someday.
Sekiro has baby easy timings on its
Wait,
parrying compared to
how are there-
parrying in this game.
I thought you said it was turn-based. Why is there parrying timing?
Exactly.
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 Okay.
So
No.
let me.
No.
Nat,
You've been
Nat,
talking
Nat,
this entire time.
no,
You shut
okay,
up.
go.
You shut up. Okay, let me go. I want one.
Go for it.
All right, so the game has another system added on to its combat, which is the dodge and parry system. Now, the dodge piece of the system is intended for you to use to learn how to use the parry system.
If you're a baby.
If you're a baby, shut up, Eric. Everybody starts off going to that little green dude and getting their shit rocked in. So how about you shut up and let me talk to this man and tell him what it's actually about. Anyway, so you can dodge an attack and you'll get dodge, right? And that's just a standard dodge. But if you perfectly time the dodge and you get perfect, that's your affirmation to say that you now learned how to parry. Because if you can dodge perfectly, that is the parry timing.
Yes. Also,
So-
the dodge timing is tighter than Sekiro's parries.
Yes. So you have it needs to be like nigh on perfect. Now they do also give you tells. Like there is rhythm that is in certain attacks. There is sound cues that are in certain attacks. And there are movements to certain attacks that you can kind of lock into. So it's all part of your experience, right? For some people, they lock into the sound aspect of it, and if they hear the sound cue, they immediately parry and they get it 100% all the time. For me, I'm more rhythm based. So whenever I see like an attack, I have to go ahead and fight the monster multiple times. So I'm trying to learn how to incorporate the sound piece into doing rhythm.
The question is, it like, so you said it's turn based. So is
Yes.
it like, I want my character to do this,
Yes.
and then when it executes, well, while you're watching it execute, you have to do the dodges and parries
No.
during the action?
So when you attack, there are quick time events that you can press X for or A for, whatever you have, that will either increase the damage or incorporate another form of attack on monster. Like, let's say I have a move that when I hit somebody, if I get the timing as well, actually no, I don't think there's anything that restricts the attack being less than if you don't do timer. Am I right with that, Eric? I know that like you can get less damage. Like if it's asking you to it will also slow.
No, it doesn't slow it. However, there are some abilities that simply do not function
If you don't do
how
quick
they
time.
should if you don't do the quick time.
Right.
For example, there's an ultimate that the main character does. If you
Oh,
do
yeah.
his quick time event correctly, then you do like a 10 combo attack with a huge wind up at the end.
Yeah.
However, if you miss any of them, then, if you miss more than 50% of them, then he like does, he tries to wind up his punch and he's like, it doesn't work. And then he like gets a weak punch off.
Yeah.
So the kittens are still asleep.
They're nocturnal, man. They're not gonna wake up for a bit, man.
Wait, cats are nocturnal?
Shut up.
Don't tell me to shut up.
No, you know that cats are nocturnal.
Nat, do you know how dumb I am? Apparently
No.
not. Because
Dude,
most
you're
of the
not dumb.
time,
You're not
when I
dumb.
say
You're
something
not
dumb,
dumb.
you're
No,
like,
no,
why are
no.
you saying this stupid stuff? You smarty. And I'm like, guess what?
Because you are smart.
No,
are smart.
I'm capable. There's a difference.
Oh, okay. That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, so there are quick time events that happen during attacks that will either enhance your attack or cause another additional effect. But for whenever it's the monster's turn or what your opponent's turn, that's when the quick time event. That's whenever the dodging and the parrying come in. So you're always clued in to fighting. There's no in between. Eric's just pointing. It's ridiculous.
Pointing at the kitties. It's all blackness, brother.
Yeah, we can't see anything, dude.
You've got black kittens in a
One of them
black
is-
box.
Yeah, one of them is a tuxedo. So,
Oh, man.
and this one's gray. So this one right here is gray. You see her little face popping up? This is her paw right there.
Oh.
And this is,
Horrible.
she's laying on top of the black one.
I see blackness moving in blackness. It's like shadows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shadow
Yeah.
movements.
Maybe if I look at this one, I can see it. Nope. Can't see it there
No,
either.
it's still
They're
super
right there,
dark.
though.
Anyway, but that's that. Stupid cats.
So this is kind of like when I was flying the plane. Someone was trying to explain something to me, so I'm watching a video to try to understand.
Oh, you're trying to watch it. Okay. Are you watching my video?
No, I'm watching the Steam page second video, and every time I pause to play it, it decides to unmute and blast my ears. It's great.
Oof, it's a
Or if I
wonderful time.
fast forward or rewind, it also unmutes.
You may not be able to see all of the actual fight. You might be able to see, like
I'm
go to my,
seeing fights
to my-
happen with the
go to one of my
A
VODs.
stuff like that. It's just they're not showing like the turn-based aspect,
Yeah.
where like theoretically you're planning things and then executing them. I don't know. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Umbra's here. How's he not playing the new Doom?
Dude, he
Is he
said
not
he's gonna
streaming?
he's gonna rip and tear as soon as it finishes downloading. That's what
Oh,
he
it's
said.
downloading.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay, Umber didn't know that cats are nocturnal either, Nat.
Bruh. I'm
And he's smarter than me.
I'm gonna throw a shoe at both
he's
of y'all.
no, he's
He's joking. He's saying, "Bruh, man didn't know
he's-
cats were
All
nocturnal."
right,
He's
good night,
bashing
y'all.
you.
This is a great
Yeah,
podcast.
bashing you.
he's actually like, bud, buddy, bud,
She moved. Look at that.
Oh,
She's
bud.
there.
It's cute.
Oh, wait, Bethesda makes do?
No, he was talking about. You know what? I'm gonna get back on topic because you're just out of line. Okay, so let's go ahead and focus.
Claire
Claire
Obscure
Obscure
is
is
amazing.
fantastic. It is a
Absolutely
really good
fantastic.
game, and if you're going to watch it, I'm going to try and stream the entire game.
Yeah,
We'll
I
see.
am definitely going to stream the entire game too. So,
We'll see.
but probably at a slower rate than you will. So,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna chew through it as soon as possible because I can't stop myself. Yeah.
But guys, I unfortunately do have to go pick something up for a friend from a friend's house. So
Let us call it here then.
we do unfortunately have to call it here. Otherwise, I won't get there before they fall asleep, and I kind of need it. So,
Fair.
my
I
guys,
am not crazy. Umbra did say the new Doom just came out, so I don't know what y'all are talking about. But
It-
anyway,
Yeah.
it did come.
It
wait,
did just
it's
come out. He said he's downloading it right now, guys.
Gosh, I want to play
Nobody
it so
is
badly.
listening to
Play it
me.
so badly.
God.
I want to play it so badly. I'm gonna play it, Umbra. It's gonna be hype.
aren't
maybe-
you supposed to be playing Gloomhaven right now?
I called off for tonight because I knew I was gonna be dealing with the cats.
And he's
And
got to
I
get
was
something.
super late to the podcast, so I knew I was gonna run late here. There were just a lot of stuff. I not in the headspace to play Gloomhaven right
Cool.
So
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Thanks, Umbra.
Yes.
Thanks,
Thanks,
whoever
nerds.
is lurking. Thanks, Ash.
yes, like, subscribe, even through all
Oh,
the
For those of you here, we're going to have a schedule.
yes.
So if you want, you may be able to join us on the tasting adventures of the whiskey and the bourbons and the other things.
join. That'll be in the Discord. Join the
Yes.
Discord. It's in all the stuff. It's in all the stuff.
Mhm,
But
Alright.
but yes,
Alright.
guys, another wonderful episode. Like, subscribe, follow, do all the things. We'll catch you in the next one.
Bye. Thank you all.
Bye.